Alright, so I had this idea pop into my head when I realized that being a cosplayer is pretty expensive, right? Almost every single fancy hobby is going to be expensive. Where did they get the money to do it? Well, they should be getting money in the first place, and they should have a hobby. But one cosplayer was trying to pull off a stunt where she's asking for money for her expensive hobby, and you know what? We shouldn't be paying them. We shouldn't be simping for them. But I can't stop the world, can I? Can't stop the world from spinning. It is what it is. So here you go. That is the inspiration for Poor versus Rich. The only stepping stone, the only starting point I have is, remind us that we have a trillionaire now. That's cool. We can hang out with a trillionaire. Why did it happen? I actually want to isolate two people in particular. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Very good at siphoning money to the point where they can siphon money from rich people as well, quite a bit. Now, I wish it was symmetrical, but together they form a beautiful team where Mark is taking over the introvert space and Elon Musk is taking over the extrovert space. What can you do? All right? Anyone who has a car has to decide whether they want Tesla or not. Everyone who sits on their computer probably wants to decide if you're hot or not. Hmm? Okay, probably not hot. Probably male. So I'm putting this in perspective to the point where, like, yes, hierarchy, sure, but I feel like rich versus poor is more of a battlefield, and there is no middle ground. You either have too much money or not. That is the vibe, basically. The deeper you get, the more too much money you have, and you have to do something about it. Now, money fundamentally should empower you to be a better person, not worse. And no, I mean, yes, triangle, because how many people can actually be rich? This is more like a feels good or feels bad. The more poor you are, the more pain you have to deal with. And I would say that's what a real man comes from. A real man comes from pain. And if women are fishing around here, they're not getting anything. They're not making much progress, which is great. They're scared, that means. They're delusional. Everyone is starting to understand, but they don't understand the extent of the delusion. It's not about just like, oh, only 1% of men are tall and rich. These men are not even worth chasing. They're not even real men. It's just a fake delusional fantasy that women even have ability to choose. Right? They get approached and they get a ability to reject. They don't get ability to choose. They don't do that shit whatsoever. Right? At least I would have been chosen some of the time. How about that? So I did got chosen though. At some point when I looked like a fancy guy amongst literally women. Like there was scarcity and I looked fancy and smart. Way out of their league. So of course they fucking approached me. That happened a long time ago, but it's possible that it happens sometimes. Look at that. And then it's almost like they have no choice all of a sudden. So on one side you have the billionaires, on the other side you have the jail system. where things get so painful that people just give up and just drag you into hell itself. So that's cool. I guess the other side is heaven, where you get to control everything and do everything you like. Isn't that fancy? Who gets to decide whether you go to hell or heaven? Damn. Nothing is really getting decided, isn't it? It's just you live life and you hope to make progress that way, you know? You hope to fight gravity as with all things in life. So yeah, even though I started with the illusion that some billionaires might just siphon their own kind, no. All of them are fighting us, basically. All of them are putting pressure and causing pain and making us jealous, and so on. What women are doing are trying to, like, associate as much as possible with the rich people. So the funny thing is that the existence of Epstein files is completely normal. Like, that sort of crime, it's not even a crime. It's just that's what women want to do. They want to be exploited somehow. They asked for it. It's just another, like, Oliver Tree situation. They asked to be fucking destroyed by rich people. They are slaves, like everyone else. It's just they got exposed. It's women getting exposed. Epstein Files does not expose predators. We know predators exist. The real thing is getting exposed is weak women. That, they become victims all the time. They just choose not to talk about it because they don't know who to trust the moment they become victims. They don't want to fall for it. Fall into arms of a real man. They don't want to do that shit. So that's one of those big things to expose yourself to. This is the fucking realization that women are gravitating towards this as much as they can. They're trying to capitalize on being young and pretty, and they jump in the arms of the nearest billionaire or millionaire, whatever it takes, right? And it causes that additional piece of pain, but that's what it is. You can't deny it. They make choices. They make choices. So a lot of manifestations in reality right now are women's fault anyways. You can blame them for that shit. And spending time worrying about it and asking for, like, who is the Epstein files? You can't defeat them. You cannot defeat them billionaires, dude. What are you fucking asking for? Who's the Epstein files is gonna shoot me in the head? It's gonna make my brain go boom boom. Oh, yes. Well done, dude. Fucking women were delusional, now men are gonna be delusional, right? Jumping up and down like, who do I fight? You gonna be fighting a billionaire who's gonna buy bodyguards and beat you up. Alright, shut you up real fast. Gonna shut down your internet access and steal your computer. Unless you're using Linux. Not sponsor of this video at all. I wish it did sponsor this, but Linux sucks. For me. Although I don't want to scare people, but that's what's going on. Like, billionaires rule the world, and they cripple the world too. Quite a bit. So, what's going on here? What else do we talk about? What I expect is they're going to say something stupid, and I'll be able to monetize that into content.
So that Dean is
We're clapping for the rich guy?
Yeah, because he's cool and stuff. The scary thing, again, is that they get to buy things now. They get to enslave the rest of humanity. They have given some kind of service, and now we have to give them back to be able to get our money back. Unless money gets devalued, I guess. I don't know what the saving grace is. I mean, inflation is pretty nice. But the inflation's supposed to affect wages. Why is that not happening? So literally, government pulled the plug and inflation stopped in improving wages, and now the rich people are colluding with the government so fucking much. It's insane. It's a double Joker effect on reality. I will repeat how the double Joker works. It feels that inflation exists, and inflation would only affect rich people, just like taxes should only affect rich people. But in reality, the government steps in, corrupts itself, and also helps rich people by removing the downsides or spreading the downside like a disease. So what's supposed to have helped us, which is inflation, is not helping us. What's supposed to help us, which is taxes, is not helping us because they attack us with that too, as if it's fair. As if it's fair to tax the poor and inflate everything but their wages, to leave them behind. That, unfortunately, is a very destructive force. And every single government that is aligned with that is corrupted. Yes, we're getting super duper fucked right now. I can understand some of the double Joker effects, but like government is more powerful than the corporatism that we live in. Maybe that gives a piece of government to everything that's below. So corporatism has to deal with the government. And us normal people will have to deal with the government by paying taxes. It gets pretty weird, but maybe it's also inevitable. You see, like, I have this, like, system thinking. I don't just, like, think of, like, oh, good or bad. No, I just, like, some things are inevitable, unfortunately. So I don't know what it means, like, if double Joker is inevitable, what does that mean? How bad is it, then? It's a very interesting version of capitalism, then, if we still have to consider the upper levels, that capitalism is under corporatism, capitalism is under the government, capitalism is under society. People want to cheer. Like, society feels strong when, like, you win. We all win. Right? That is the idea. That's why we cheer for rich people all the time. It's like, well, you win. You win the points called money. Doesn't mean that people will want to work for you. But government, steps in and ensures some kind of form of slavery anyways. That these things work a little bit more than expected. Whatever is below government, it has to work. But at the same time, it still works. Like, even if you get taxed and you get left behind by inflation, if your wages are not inflating, there's still one graceful thing under the government is safety. There's still technology being built. Without safety, there is no technology. So technology is always the clingy escape from all the problems that you might feel. All of your problems must be alleviated with technology first and foremost, and you have to master that technology. So as a poor person, if you want to at least get into the equilibrium, all you have to do is master technology, right? This is your escape escalator. And technically what my channel is dedicated for is to use the escape escalator. I do think rich people also will need some kind of delusion alleviation technology of their their own, right? Maybe they need to see some AI stuff we have been making, you know, making fun of billionaires. The more rich you are, the more famous, the more we can fucking graffiti on your face. I don't know, there's gotta be some kind of gravity that they can use to remove delusion from their lives, because you don't want to have it. You just don't want to have that. When you're making decisions, you have to spend your money away. Because just because you're safe and you're happy, you again grow the delusion. If you are in pain, you're too slow to live normal life. Life doesn't happen very often. So actually reaching middle ground is supposed to be goal, essentially. And yes, I will succumb to the idea that we still live in a hierarchy. That's not a lot of people are super rich. But we can still reach middle ground quite well. Right? We can still give a lot of space to people. And I'm gonna round it out so it doesn't look like it is affected by the pyramid shape in the first place. Anyone can get up here, you know? Or go down. Again, trickle-down economy. It's true if something is trickling down. Innovation is trickling down. We're going into the future. So if something is trickling down, is the only important thing about the economy to begin with. All right? It's the only material you have to build the escape into the middle ground, to build equilibrium, all right, in your life, and to fucking build sanity too. And it's great to know that, you know, billionaires must be delusional. They must be. Of like, oh, we have trillionaire, but everyone's starving and what's not. They have to be delusional to not be helpful to people, you know, and to not feel good about themselves when they're not helping people, when they have way too much wealth, and they're gonna die anyways. So what kind of life are they living anyways? They're full of delusions, bro. And maybe this episode is gonna expose some of that. Alright, so that's nice. All I have to do is beat the government. Yeah, or beat society. Society is also a fascinating creature because you can just beg society to give you money and you just kind of get it. If you know how to do it. So there's the trend of LARPing, and this is how many resources I have able to accumulate, but I'm not doing the exact thing, right? Society has asked for their thing. I can't do the exact thing, but I can do like 10%, right? So society is going to be like, okay, you get 1% of our interest, all right? Especially since someone else is already doing what we actually asked. You get 1% of our interest. That's about it. End of story. We'll see how things go from here, right? So to compel society to focus on you, and that's a big task, bro. And you have to be extremely patient, too. So LARPing is not a trend. It's a societal spotlight. It's almost like a god-level event. Because people, they have no control. When I talk about society, there are people who control society, not the government. There are people who in control of society. Who are in control of the masses. Who know not to just like sit there and yap basically about politics. They actually take action. And they have all the power. And you will never understand because They're not as blatantly, they don't ask for your votes. Society does not ask for your votes. Things just happen. And if you cannot depict, like, oh, it's the corporation that did the thing. Oh, it's the government that did the thing. If you cannot trace where it came from, you might be dealing with society at this point. Should I say secret society to make your hair stand up? To make you interpret it more correctly? I could say that. That's a move in the right direction, at least in terms of feelings, at least in terms of understanding what society is. You can add secret society in society. That's one piece. Society, right here. Secret society, maybe around here. It's where the cultist would appear. While, again, the starting point is here. Where are the rich people at? Everyone wants to be rich. But the real rich people are over here. And some ultra rich are just satanic, basically. They're now destroyers of reality. They're not human anymore. When you become a destroyer of reality, when delusion takes over your brain, I mean, it's over. We have, again, Windows 11, hypocrisy, insanity, self-destruction. The destroyer of reality took over Microsoft and is doing his thing. It's pretty fucking obvious. It's not human. That guy is not human no more. Alright? And Microsoft is bleeding fast as a result. It's supposed to be a normal company doing normal things, but it chose to just fucking bleed. Because a destroyer took over. That means it's a weak company. And destroyers expose weak companies really fast. Or humanity's weaknesses in general. So there's some satanic shit up there in the ultra-rich category. But overall, the most rich people are over here. They're not presidents. They're slightly weaker than presidents. So money does not instantly translate to power, especially when government wants to confiscate half of it anyways, without doing any work. That's the funny bit, right? We see government as just a bunch of old people who get free money, free things funneled into their hands so they get to be in control. Politics promise to care about morality, while corporatism is supposed to care about providing resources. That's not morality. Simple as that, right? Because morality is already being taken care of by bigger people. This is where the poor are by default. They don't have the resource of even talking to other human beings without losing their fucking brain cells. I happen to be poor. I happen to be on this particular line. I maxed out my poorness. There's only one place to go now. Actually, two places to go. I can become an alien. So poor, but so powerful, regardless, that I become a destroyer of reality. Despite being poor, like, people's expectations completely get blown away by what I'm able of doing. And when I get exposed, like it's over. If I become alien, someone else would just gonna pick my stuff up and become alien too. Like, I cannot be defeated. Someone else will take my place. I invent new language, someone else picks up my language because it's unstoppable force. Fighting against aliens, just impossible game. You just have to defend your stuff. keep reality intact. You can't defeat aliens, but aliens shouldn't be able to defeat you either. You know, should be able to achieve some kind of stalemate. Anyways, hopefully you won't see me turn into a destroyer. Yeah, you can imagine the alien tribe to look like a hydra. You cut off a head and more heads pop out. Because you're killing the order of things. You're focusing on fighting destroyers, and the destroyers are gonna be like, wow, you're an easy fucking target. We're gonna fucking destroy you now. Too easy. Everyone wants to kill the Hydra while it's regenerating and inspiring more people to join in the alien race. Destroyers, they eat reality because reality fucking sucks, and we move on. You know, it's like, whatever. I don't want to roleplay as a destroyer. I'm trying to hang on. God will punish me if I move too fast. But I keep throwing warnings, and I do have to be honest. Nobody picked them up yet. That should be concerning, you know, because you have to at least pick up a warning that someone tells you. I'm a honest person. The moment I will be honest of like, hey, I killed your parents, what are you gonna do about it? The moment I'm honest like that is the moment your life fucking sucks because of me. So, just pick up your fucking warnings, alright? Pick that shit up. Imagine I'll even be able to tell you why I killed your parents. I'm gonna be like COVID whispering in your ear. COVID with a mouth. It's beautiful stuff out there. When you hate reality. Anyways, we can keep going. We can talk about the important thing. You know, I bumped into my ego wall. It's fascinating.
Rich people should.
But I have to look up from here. I'm able to look up all the way here. Not quite the billionaire class. Just very, very rich people who have great opportunities to be helpful to, you know, grow in fame, at very least. Every rich person should try to be famous because that is the ultimate charity. Right? Is to give people free stuff. Right? Generate free stuff. Free to play stuff. Free to play games exist. So charity. Right? My favorite game is Hearthstone. I haven't paid a single dollar for Hearthstone. There was even a moment where I was earning money from Hearthstone, so that's weird. And other people do that as well. Charity fucking works. For rich people, it works and it makes them look good. It depends whether they want to, like, keep the loop going and just profit from charity at the same time as they, you know, profit from their reputation. You know, no one's gonna be angry if you do enough charity of like, I guess it's fine. All the money is going back to society. No problem. Because that's the funny bit, like, government picks up the taxes. That doesn't mean that society's gonna pick up the taxes. Society has to pick up the rest of what billionaires have. If government is not picking up or taxing the billionaires, society has to do it. And right now, society is kind of like willing to even put a gun to your face and say it's Luigi time. So that's fun. Society definitely doesn't like the way things are going right now, and billionaires are literally like turning into Satans just for having too much money. So there's Luigi for that, it seems. It's truly fascinating. Rich people should be taxed more.
I remember back when, you know, America was first starting and the taxes were looked at as a
By special interest.
Rich people don't have to be taxed to be taxed. Alright? We can just ask them to spend money on things that actually matter. Right? That's it. the end of story. As a part of society, as a part of godlike mindset, I demand rich people to spend money on what benefits us all. Simple as that. The end of story. If you are keeping money inside your fucking vault and it's rotting in there, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. The problem with billionaires is not that they have a lot of money. Money be rotten. Money be doing nothing. This is how the economy gets destroyed. Money has to move around. Why? Because we have to make successful transactions all the time, constantly. Money is the blood of reality. It's not that fucking simple, is it? The blood of reality. It's one thing you cannot strip away. Corporatism and capitalism tries to strip everything away and realizes money is the most important thing that is impossible to destroy, because that's how we make transactions. That's how we trade. Right? It's the most powerful thing of how people have conversations, is the tangible conversation. The most tangible conversation is exchange of things we have. So it cannot be stripped away, but it has to be happening. Money has to be happening. Money has to do stuff. Money has to act. So you can embarrass a lot of billionaires out there, a lot of rich people, and tell them to make their money act. Anyone who's above you, ask them to do that. This is the only way out, guys. They can already be taxed. You can tax them. Anyone can tax a rich person. You just have to remind them and snap them out of the delusion that they're living in.
Are we not at least all paying the same percentage of our?
Because we're not in this system together. It's two tiered. You know, there's a separate rules for the rich as there are for the poor, and you know they're the rich play by a different game. You know.
Should rich people pay more taxes? If I could know with certainty that my taxes, paying more of them, would go to benefit schools.
That's what I'm talking about. Rich people still get to decide if they want to make moral choices, proper moral choices that can actually sometimes beat the government. But where is your money going then? If you're so uncertain, where's your money going? Sitting in their fucking bank account? Well, now you're very immoral. You're counterproductive then. You're a terrible human being if it just sits there. You gotta be buying things. You gotta be investing. You gotta grow the world that you want to see around you. And most importantly, protect us from the satanic billionaire class that, hijacks a lot of the stuff, destroys a lot of stuff, just because, we have to make apps, we have to build technology, we have to innovate, but no one investing, we can't get anywhere. We cannot do anything. I mean, I am definitely an example of no one's investing, so I'm just going to move on and just be a moral person. I guess no one's just paying attention that I'm able to destroy politics. I guess I'll move on and just become a society manager or whatever. That's a lot of pay,
Or homeless veterans, or is that once that money's gone, it can go off to fund war crimes in other countries and bomb villages where
So he did say an example that he's paying for something moral, so that's great.
don't trust.
And he should vocalize that more often. To embarrass politicians is one of those other things these rich people can do. They can evolve and start embarrassing politicians. And eventually they just jump into the next level.
More than the average person who just needs to drive to work. If you need a million trucks going.
Rich people use more public service. Okay.
Places it wouldn't be unfair for these people to pay more because they use more.
Site that is on a mission.
Another interesting point.
Corporations, they have to come up with the money still. So what do? They borrow it. They borrow it from corporations when they could have just taxed them. And when you borrow from billionaires and these large corporations, you then have to pay them interest. The government has to pay all this interest on the money that they should have just taxed them in the first place. So
That's why you have the 30 trillion debt. Very good point. It's surprising how America just withstood so long without eating the rich. So patient, guys. But you have to fix your fucking debt. You know? You have to stop appearing as looters of the other nations. But the problem is, like, debt is just fundamentally in the system somehow. I still don't understand. But there can be like 3 entities in debt with each other. And it's just like, okay, I'm gonna pay my debt. Then he's gonna pay the debt. And he's gonna pay the debt. And it's just like, at the same, nothing happened. Everything went down to 0. So how does that even happen? Did nobody solve this yet? You know, the circle of debt. If 2 nations are in debt to each other, like, debt can be solved very easily. When 3 nations are debt in a cycle, it is not easy to solve this. Now you have to know. You have to know the full cycle to be able to resolve it. So, debt is only a part of the system because we can't resolve it that easily, I guess. We just let it be there.
have 30 trillion. I mean, the national debt is a scam in and of itself. The fact that people bring that up as a talking point is ludicrous.
The part that they even talk about it is ludicrous. We always have to be talking about tangible things. Previous episode, remember that one? We are obligated to ourselves to not meddle in rich people's business unless they ask for it. We have to keep the delusion going. We can't just dispel. This is their little thing. They can talk about the debt crisis or whatever. It's up. They're gonna get to suffer the most because they're responsible for things. Man should be breadwinner of the family. It's not anymore. Everyone needs to be a winner.
I grew up in
Fucking
a
loser.
pretty traditional Muslim household,
Degenerate.
and it's like very common for and vice versa. But I
Well, he's talking to
don't
himself
think
now.
that it should.
This is
Like for me,
crazy.
like the way that I've grown up, it's been a tradition.
But we grew up. It's a tradition. It's a tradition, my friend. Was stripped away. Lost in the sauce. All right? Your tradition means nothing no more. I'm sorry, dude. Like, that's capitalism. You should know that. Fucking
that like the
weirdo.
man is very responsible for taking care of his family
I'm pretty sure, like, he's one of the rich ones.
and the financials of kind of this unit. And I don't plan
So of course he's like, well, I can afford having delusional traditions and
on changing
whatnot.
that. So it's something I just believe in. But
Right now, with having just one provider. I mean, I think everyone on this side of the room probably can if you're the rich man, but a lot of us, we need 2 incomes.
So that made me
Again, it's truly fascinating how we got properly re-educated to understand that, no, it's not a gender role anymore. It's everyone's role to survive. And partnership has to be built on top of that, of whoever is winning bread, has something of value to offer in a relationship.
I think that's what
I mean, the killer word is should. And it's very forced word.
matters most.
There's a cultural issue.
I kind of love doing that.
I know I'm not going to be able to spoil her with like,
Talking about spoiling, right? I can spoil her too with my delusional levels of wealth. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, the word is fundamentally negative, so it is not beautiful. I'm not impressed.
like 1 million diamond rings and
I
stuff
love spoiling my family.
like that, but I can housing being a form of
No. No, you can't just be rich. No. That's what it means. It's almost impossible to get through this gap. And it has its own rate. And that rate never changes across history. I don't think this changes ever. It's still extremely difficult to get into the rich side. Which is why you should stop trying to do it. It's a fucking delusion. It is the greatest delusion that feeds, that technically releases rich people from delusion. Because it's the poor person delusion that they can just become rich. No, you can't. I'm sorry I have to break it to you, but rich people have more opportunities of making money because money makes money. So that's it. That's the game over. You just can't. Without resources, you're not going to generate things that generate other resources. It's like cookie clicker. If you need financial education of why you can't become rich, is because you start from zero and the growth is exponential. But if you start from zero and you only have 100 years to live, you're not even gonna get to the halfway point where things are getting interesting. Just not gonna do it, bro. You need money to build factories, to make even more money, to buy off grandmas. You're not gonna do it if you don't have money already. Becoming rich is easier, no. Definitely not. Yeah, the idea is ratio. You're getting out-ratioed by the fact that there's so many people out there. So many human beings out there. No. You forgot to add Africa in the equation, you know? Fucking weirdos. Alright, I hope these two people come out and just fucking slam dunk these, because they're all wrong. Just it's a safe bet. It's a feels good idea, but the reality is very different. This cannot even change, and it doesn't have to. Now, if you change this to like becoming smart is easier now than ever. Shit, now you're putting me in a interesting position actually, because under capitalism, yes, becoming rich is easier because that's all people think about. That's all people do right now. They try to make it as easy as possible to become rich. Or something. They make it fluid? I don't know, man. It's fucking fascinating now that I think about it. But that's probably just exclusive to capitalism.
Like, you can make a lot more money if you make money. And, like, you have to
We did get to that point, though. Money makes
really
money.
control yourself. That's why I also believe that making a lot of money
Then you are a capitalist if you own the means of production by which workers work.
Yeah, you have to enslave others to become rich. What do you mean it's easier? It's always like this. You have to enslave others, meaning that you have to stand above all the others. You have to use the hierarchy mode, basically, the convergence mode. It's always going to be a triangle. What the fuck are you talking about? It's never going to be easier. So these other people are just delusional, and they're just fucking around with it. But it feels like there's more opportunities. It feels like there's more opportunities. Like, they just keep fucking yapping. Yeah, this guy is on a whole different level because he did not agree with the statement. You have to see past deception, because that's the great deception that actually keeps you poor. It's not about becoming rich, it's about avoiding poverty. That's it.
Exploiting.
It's about avoiding the death spiral. Who knows? Maybe I'm getting government benefits because of the kindness of everyone around me. Alright, everyone is kind. My mom is kind. She's kind of fucking stupid creature, but she's kind. My dad is kind enough not to use money against me, I guess. Weird level of kindness, but I'll take it. So, there's obviously another piece, which is you have to be a good person. Then you don't actually need gravity from technology or whatever that is that helps rich people. Just be a good person, and you'll get on the better side of people overall.
And now I have the opportunity to make millions, and so it'd be easier for me to sit here and say, wow, it's easier than ever to make money in today's society. But if you even look outside of America as a country, at the global economy,
See? They dunked, bro. They dunked all my insights
as a
immediately.
whole, there are so many millions and millions and millions of people who are
Fuck
sitting here
these
going, what do you
guys.
mean it's easier than ever to make money?
The
I'm
other
watching the upper
ones.
1% get richer and richer, and I'm still here struggling to pay rent and make food every day. It's difficult than ever.
All the opportunities are converged into cities, bro. Are you kidding me? It's just an optical
Largest
illusion.
transfer of wealth ever in human history. States is the greatest, most wealthy country in the world because we've robbed the entire world.
Bro, this guy knows everything. Holy shit.
I'm not disputing that at all.
Yeah, no, I'm
Billionaire.
This guy is, like, I've never seen a person who, like, speaking out of my mouth. Because, like, that's almost impossible.
here a strong argument.
Bro, this guy is just cooking the rest, man. Oh my god. You know, you guys can be rich, but you're fucking stupid. And I get to enjoy my time for once, you know? They gather some people, it's like, oh, most of them are stupid. How fascinating. You know, high five, my friend. High five. Bet his name is Billie Jean.
Probably should go at the same time.
Shut the fuck up. Like, billionaire wealth just sitting there, doing nothing. Or is generating rug pulls or something for their self-esteem. And they call it an investment. While in reality, they get to pull the plug first. Is everything tied to stocks, as I have been told over and over again? That's the only way they can avoid taxes.
Have a say.
Is there a sense where we could maybe raise the minimum wage to a certain level to where it's not seen as exploitation?
The very concept of earning a wage is exploitative by design.
It's like seeing a fucking knockout, bro. What do you mean minimum wage, you fucking weirdo? Holy shit, that's what I see, you know. There's no such thing as minimum wage. Government is just trying to make sure that people are getting paid some decent amount of money. Like, holy crap. Yes, every surplus is exploitation. Any amount of surplus is exploitation. If I produce $30 of value and I only get $20, who the fuck gets $10 all of a sudden? Who deserves those $10? I want to know. People need to know the value that they're producing and how much they get and how much is taken away by whom. Who gets to split the wealth? Who gets to take the surplus? For what reason? Simple as that. And minimum wage just kind of sometimes establishes no jobs and of like, oh, we just have to pay minimum wage and that's fine because there's no jobs. You know, sometimes minimum wage is just absolute ass. It basically exists just so people stop thinking about it too much. Like, well, you get a job, you should be fine. But now, under inflation, you have to think about it. Of like, it's not fine. It's not even good enough anymore. And to me, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'll have to leave you guys to it. I don't know what to do in this situation. When minimum wage is not enough, like, that is fucking catastrophe.
I say the system forced you to
Well,
do
but
it.
no, also the person paying you to do that was not a billionaire.
Oh no, the owner of the shop is gonna, like, have more money. What do you mean, owner of the shop? Billionaire owns, like, 1 million people. Alright? Alright, let's not exaggerate. Billionaire fundamentally owns 1,000 people. They own it. But they own everything about them. So it's more like 10,000 people. Imagine that level of ownership. Now, funny enough, you can still build a stable structure of convergence where everything converges to one person. So kind of puts me on the fence because it is sort of possible to just be such a high-level owner of things that it still trickles down as like an incredible amount of wealth. I hate to say trickle down, but that's just the way it works. Trickles down to one person. It's convergence, all right? Money trickles down to billionaires in exchange for giving us technology. The real opportunity is to survive another day, baby. Never has been different under society.
And he, on freak accident, got really into AI super early, like years ago, right? And him by himself, he's sitting with his computer, he's like in his 20s, and he codes some shit.
Oh, it's just by accident bro got into AI, alright? Oh, it's a fucking accident. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Yeah, everyone loves AI. AI is very ethical, by the way. Bro just proven the point without being like clapped back immediately.
He creates a company and
By like, hey, stop right there, criminal scum.
it suddenly IPOs.
Whoever you're talking about is not just a fucking little angel that turned into a billionaire overnight. You have to tap into something like very fundamentally dangerous for society to overlook. We can't overlook that one. We cannot overlook technology innovation. It's always gonna fucking explode in price. But it's still a stock, and now everyone else gonna come in and rip him into shreds for being a billionaire. He's gonna be ethical again. Don't worry about it, man. Just wait until everyone is joining in on AI hype, and they're making their own versions, cheaper versions, blah blah blah. You get the idea. So the whole story stinks in two different directions. The start and the end very much
It's
stinkers.
worth $1 billion. He didn't do
What a
anything. He didn't go out and
loser.
say,
But I have an example of ethical billionaire. Actually, he didn't do anything wrong. Alright, he definitely has a blind spot. It's easier to make money if you're white. Not anymore. I mean, that was ensured by women 100 times. If you're a black, women are gonna be looking at below, like this area that you're hiding right now. They're gonna look into that area and be like, well, that's worth a lot of money. Hop in, buddy. Hop in. Let's make some money. Not white man. That's it. Are you fucking kidding me?
Byproduct of capitalism, in other words, is white supremacy.
Okay, you just... How are you so smart and so stupid at the same time?
And
What
you know,
happens?
upon
Oh, white supremacy, except we getting invaded at the same time while the white supremacy is the fucking hot topic. I wonder how that works. Russia's invading because white people are fucking degenerates. We have Europe being invaded. And we have America always... Well, America vocalizing the white supremacy thing in the first place. Like, excuse me? Is that not enough of chaos inside the white people's land? No? You want Asians to also suffer?
certain
Whiteness definitely does not give you privilege under capitalism.
succeed.
It's stripped away immediately. Bro, gender gets stripped away. We're not just talking about white man, we're talking about white and man. And that shit gets stripped away twice. You fucking morons! You were literally smart last time. And you immediately fucking switched to goo goo gaga. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ, white man. Okay? Jesus Christ, you feel the privilege while being poor. Like, what is going on? Where's the logic anywhere in this one? Maybe instead of doing the most delusional move of all time, do this experiment of becoming black female. Alright? If life is so easy as white male, just become black female. You can't? You're telling me you can't do that, right? To figure out which one is better. Oh boy. So you chose to be a white man. You chose to be a white man. Damn. I might want to try and switch, though. I might want to try and switch. Oh, you can, though. So how the fuck do you know? If you can switch at will, why would you fucking know that? That it's easier. That's the weirdest fucking thing of all time. To even make us just agree with a strong statement that makes no fucking sense. Holy shit, man. You make more money if you have original privilege. Ooh. I mean, if you're born rich, you get to make more money. But that's about it. But, like, you have to, like, split the category to make it... Like, you can definitely use that against me, though. Because, like, white people are more rich or whatever. But it looks like that argument literally fell apart under Apocalypse. that argument literally doesn't work anymore. Not 1 year ago.
Succeeding more than others, excelling.
The funniest thing is, it is easier to make money if you're a white man. Is true in LARPing community, because there's a lot of white people's chairs that you can take. Do you want to be KSI? Does anyone need to be KSI? I don't know. You tell me. I think there's not a lot of opportunities for black people to LARP for profits. And they just kind of fail to do that, so womp womp. It's definitely true in one place in particular, I guess.
Right.
More than others.
You know, I just think
The only thing that is true about the statement is if you change this to stack money. Because white people will have a problem spending money. I'm gonna show you something that's really weird. Make money, right? You go to India versus this. Where's easier to make money? India or a shithole where you have to have ownership of a shop? A market, a normal market, fucking shithole. Which one's easier to make money? Like, the sentence is a red herring because, like, it's asking, like, it doesn't say how much. It's just like, if it's easier to make money. It's actually the opposite is true. Black female. That's right, that's what I'm talking about. If you're talking about stacking money and appearing cool while you stack money and you build wealth, if we change make money with build wealth, then yes, white male wins. Fucking losers.
it's pretty fairly evident at this point that you look the part.
Because again, black people, like, they live in hotter climates, they burn wealth. They can't have wealth, but they can definitely make money. And they're kind of badasses in that category.
Historical wealth.
And there's all these, like, fucking losers talking about it right now, yapping. You watch it for yourself because it's pure brain rot what's going on here.
I hate that with a passion. 'Cause, like, as a
See, the funny thing is, again, I would be like, just like, well, there's a black person, I'm gonna listen to the black person because we're sort of like suggesting that black person is losing this game. Unless you're not poor. If you're not poor, you can also agree with the statement if you want, I guess. At this point, you would be more successful just like using whatever you have around you as a deciding factor.
the black dude,
The way you beat that is like you focus on what are the advantages that you have and how can I act on those advantages.
What he just threw casually is like, how did he become rich? And how you become rich in general. By the way, look at this fucking contrast of posture. It's insane. One is 6 foot, and one has his head down. He could be 6 foot, he could be a very attractive male, but he just chooses not to. Isn't that funny? I'm 6 foot male on high heels. What do you have to say to that, bitch? You love it. So yeah, bro casually said you have to act on the advantages that you have over everyone else. You can win some kind of competition. Just have to know what advantages you have. Unfortunately for me, I don't have advantages. That's my identity, is to not have advantages, to just be good at a lot of things. All right?
He's like, I'm going to be at a disadvantage to making money. Like, we're not talking about being rich, the problem is making money itself.
He got it. He got it. He has the worldwide thinking in
I
there.
think overall, cultures,
Who would in the United States of America as opposed to a black, queer, female?
He added queer for no fucking reason, like a degenerate. Oh, I'm a white straight male. The opposite of that is black queer female. Who has the advantage? Definitely a black queer female. All right? She definitely has the advantage. She just doesn't have a black skin, but it's fine. Fucking idiots. You don't add more things, you don't add more assumptions on a statement. He got lost in the sauce, man. Black female, it absolutely has an advantage. Absolutely. They know how to do shit. I just can't find them usually. I think he's lost in the sauce and he just chose a random thing. I'm agree actually. Because white supremacy, like, just so fucking brainwashed.
You know,
I can't believe this.
What is the society?
I'm gonna bring something up as well to show you the pure example of it. They can make money, but they cannot build wealth. Why? Bro doesn't need wealth, right? He just needs money to be able to travel the world, but he doesn't need to have a mansion, basically, where he goes back to, where all the fucking action happens. He does not have to settle for a specific spot. That's the fucking difference between black and white. Black man don't have house. The world is his oyster, basically. And his best transportation is legs. Okay? That is nice one. You can't disqualify yourself. You can't be like, I am an imposter. This whole time I was upset and it distorted my reality. Like that. That is fascinating, bro.
So I'm very happy.
You know, if I was in a room with a very rich person, yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy because someone has a lot of money and they could just give it to me. You know, they could give me a better job or something. I'm not happy. In this room, not happy, bro. Especially if everyone is happy. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna be the counter. I'm gonna play, I'm gonna play for attention. Let's fucking go.
I would say, like, you asked me this.
The only thing I'm worried about is that we probably wasted our fucking time right now looking at dumbasses. And might have missed some important points. But at the same time, I'm probably also looking way too deep into this and I want some kind of spicy moment of insights that blows my mind. And I did find it, and that's it. We moved on. Like, rich people are delusional. They're climbing their delusion ladder. Alright? And they have to get humbled by the people. I don't know, maybe rich people have to get into a competition with poor or something like that. Then they get humbled very fast. I mean, I've just seen an attempt to humble Mr. Beast. And it's just like a lack of skills would humble a rich person. You know what I've done? I enjoyed reacting. This is charity. You're supposed to be allowed to react to all of this. Especially if you have more skills than the entire room combined. Then it's a 50-50. They boost your relevancy, and you are able to handle it like a boss. That is how to be the awesome poor person. I'm poor person at heart. Generally, I have solved my problem and I found balance. Any amount of imbalance would turn me into an alien. So, we don't want that, and I will be happy staying in my balance. Look at that. Until people give me channel strikes or some bullshit like that. I will let them do it, but it's gonna be my last straw that can be broken before I am not human. So always remember what is free. Which rich people engage into giving charity and which ones just keep wealth for themselves. Tucked all the way in there. Things that are free will set you free. It's filled up my free time, and it's now setting me free. Because all those things are wonderful. Now, a lot of the stuff that I say it's free is rather cheap. Nothing is really free. Alright, there's still hidden cost, and that's still something you have to consider. They should be free. Rich people should constantly engage in charity. And poor people should always be subjects to charity. Not just hard work, isn't it? Because it usually takes hard work to even accept charity successfully. I already surpassed most rich people. And now we're racing to, like, completely humble the shit out of them. Right? I'm gonna become billionaire level soon. In like 5 years. Okay, maybe that's a little fast. We can give it 10 years. It's the usual rate of leveling up for a shitty human being. I can do it in 6. Okay, I have the best example of what you can learn from this whole thing. These two things I lay down, the thing that brings you back to balance, that's what you have to learn in the end of the day, right? So technology matters so much. My parents did not adopt technology, and that makes them weak. Yes, Dad would buy things, but that doesn't mean he's adopting those things. He knows how to use them, but it doesn't mean that he's using them for the good purpose. That's not adoption, unfortunately. If my dad truly adopted technology, he would invest into me because I know about technology way more. I'm actually building technology. So that fucking didn't work. And my mom is a lazy bastard that got fat. Why does she got fat? Because she's bored. Right? Eating food is half of an entertainment, basically. You eat food and you sleep after eating too much food. She's always trying to find entertainment to the point where she made noises and made a lot of conflict at home. Right? Talking to herself. Isn't that fascinating? And adopting so many delusional ways of thinking as well. And every time it comes out, it just makes me furious. With technology, she would be able to actually straighten herself up a little bit, and there's plenty of things to do. Then you don't have to think about food as much, right? Technology would set my poor parents free, but they choose to imprison themselves anyways, in a poverty. Rich versus poor is a war, and there's a way out. You don't have to participate in the war. There's always a door that you should be using just out of sheer panic as you observe the world is out of control. You should panic. You should try and escape this war zone. That's the best advice I can give you. See you guys next time.